Welcome to my channel, INTJ Island. Let's talk about the INTJ War of Interaction. There he is, down the hall, walking towards you. Fred loves to talk, and he doesn't seem to care about what. On another occasion, you might turn down a hallway or slip into the restroom to avoid him. But today, you need something he has. Information on the upcoming schedule for the new product, and you need to know when your part of the technical manual has to be completed for publication. You are deep into your project and should be finished well ahead of schedule, but there is that nagging worry about the final date, just to make sure. Immediately, your mind starts working on this mission to acquire the desired information, and then how to extract your person from the arena of interaction without hurt feelings, and most of all, without wasting an unnecessary amount of your valuable time. When a military unit interacts with enemy forces and actual fighting is going on, it is called engaging the enemy. Breaking off the fighting and getting distance between the forces is called disengaging. For an INTJ, interacting with people who are not in our inner circle, it can feel like a military action. Fred, with his infatuation with sports, the weather, and what the talking heads on TV are telling him to think, is not likely to ever join your inner circle. However, you must interact with him this time. In past Fred interactions, sometimes he came up on you unawares, even coming to your office uninvited, bearing his daily batch of drivel. In those encounters, your goals and desires ran counter to those of Fred. You had no desire to interact at all. The engagement was forced upon you. Today, you must initiate the engagement in order to acquire the information you want. At other times, you might engage in order to request an action or get a commitment from Fred to meet a deadline for something he is doing, or so on. On rare occasions, Fred and you both needed to talk about something at the same time. However, all three of these encounter types share something in common. You have to engage, interact, and then disengage from the encounter with Fred. When you engage in an interaction, you must start by establishing contact. This can be critical to successful extraction from the encounter once the desired results have been obtained. By starting right, you make ending the conversation much easier. For example, today you walk up to Fred and say, "Hi Fred, I'm glad I caught you. I'm in a mad scramble to get my rough draft approved by Bill Madison, and you saved me some time because I was on the way to your desk to get the deadline date from you." You have initiated contact, but in so doing, you have also established that you have very little time and are in a hurry. Even if Fred ignores the implications of what you have said, a failing he often has, you still have that foundation laid. He may not like it if you disengage abruptly, but he has been warned. If you make the mistake of just appearing friendly and beginning the engagement by saying something like, "Hi Fred, how are you doing today?" you may have opened the door to a long-winded exposition of the painful details of his shallow existence and about the profoundly mundane things filling his world. He may even delve into all the things he is doing in order to extend the life you would avoid enduring for even a short time. He eats nutritiously, sleeps soundly, and the poor man even exercises regularly. Indeed, he may continue on to a ripe old age, probably happily watching his TV shows in a nursing home with a smile on his face. So remember to always lead into your first point of contact with a built-in escape clause inserted boldly into the opening statement. This is true even if the unexpected encounter is one where Fred comes to you. The first words out of your mouth should include a reason to break off the encounter as soon as possible. "Fred, I'm sorry. You caught me at a terrible time right now. I'm nearly drowning in this new tech manual project. I'm only just keeping up with my milestones, and if I don't finish what I'm working on by knockoff, I will fall behind. Whatever it is, please be brief." If this causes a negative response from Fred, such as, "But you were just sitting there, staring off into space," you might find that the quickest way to get him moving along out the door is to tell him about what you were thinking. "Yes, I was, and I was contemplating the order of presentation of the theory of operation for our new laser positioning unit for the patient before the test will be run on him. Should I start with the light source and how it is generated, or why we use the type of laser we do? Or maybe an overview would be best, so I hit all the various parts of the system and how the automatic table positioning motors respond to what the laser sends to their controllers. Perhaps I could mention the older units and how this laser will vastly improve the precision of the placement. Or, Fred, are you interested in this? I must get on with it so I don't lose track of where I left off. Fred doesn't enjoy technical theory, and he has no interest in where your mind was at when he interrupted you. What he was trying to do was to find an excuse to ignore your escape clause. He failed. If you both need to talk about something together, it is just a merging of the two encounter types already mentioned. You still enter with an escape clause to let Fred know that while the encounter is required, it needs to be to the point and short. Hey Fred, thanks for making the time to see me. I know you are busy as I am, and I'm busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. Let's get to this and wrap it up quickly. Now that you have actually engaged the opposition, you proceed to the contact stage. It is here that you have to work hard to deflect as much of the mandatory small talk as you possibly can, so you can move forward with the point of the encounter, assuming there is one. When Fred initiates an interaction, he is quite often just looking for companionship and conversation. At this point, you can finally exchange what is desired. Information is requested and given. Or if it is not immediately available, Fred may indicate that you need to see Paul over in engineering or Dr. Peterson in the science lab. It may be that Fred needs to look something up and he will have to get back to you. Or you may have to do some research to get Fred what he has requested from you. You cover what ground you can for this encounter, and then it is time to disengage. In the military, when one or both parties wish to break off the fighting, it requires an orderly retreat out of the battle zone. The retreat should make it as difficult as possible for the opposing forces to follow, and thereby maintaining the engagement. In a similar fashion, an INTJ who has accomplished what he wants from an encounter will then want to move to retreat, while making it difficult as possible for the other party to maintain the current interaction. The level of social care you must take is dependent upon whom it is you are disengaging from. If it is your wife, you must be very careful to do this exceedingly smoothly in order to avoid hurt feelings. If a stranger on the street has stopped you and asked for directions, you can give them, and if you are feeling especially kind, you might even add, "Have a nice day," before you turn and walk away. When you disengage from a coworker, or perhaps a customer, it is important to end things by saying something that fits into a standard form of etiquette, in order to allow you to disengage without creating hurt feelings. Thanks for the information, Fred. I'll go and put it to use now. Have a good one. Or for a customer, did that answer your question to your satisfaction? Is there anything else I can help you with? Now you may be thinking, would you allow me to show you the way to the door so you don't get lost and find your way back to my office? But of course you don't say that. If you are talking with your supervisor, breaking off the engagement can be tougher. It may be that he must initiate the disengagement, and the most you can do is to make hints about how it might be nice to end this waste of time you are both currently engaged in. Well, Mark, I think that covers what you asked. Is there anything else you needed from me? Over time, with practice, you can polish up your methods for breaking off the engagement. There are special cases where you find yourself interacting with a clingy, persistent party who ignores all your normal methods of breaking the conversation off. You might have to forcibly extract yourself from the engagement by using an ascending scale of rudeness. You might start gently and work up higher and higher on the rudeness scale. Thanks, it's been nice chatting, but I need to go now. Yeah, I know. Good luck with that one. Wow, check the time. I need to hurry or I will be late. Catch you later. Seriously, Fred, I have to go. Goodbye. It is only the most persistent and jaded opponent who will require the coup de grace. Unhand me, cretin, lest I slay thee. As with all things INTJ, if you plan your interactions in advance, both generically, developing general tools and skills for both engagement and disengagement, and specifically, thinking through how to initiate and terminate a known required engagement in advance, it will go much smoother for you. How do you deal with interactions in your daily life? Do you have a set of tools you routinely use to work through engagements and disengagements? Please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please click like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you click on the bell, you will also receive notifications when I put up a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.